Hey gang, what's going on? And welcome to the new episode of Talkin Vegas All Day with KA. I'm your host KA, and on today's episode, Jay and I are going to review the Killers show that we talked about on the pod. So if you haven't checked it out, it's the second day 2 episode of our pod. We've been recording all day here at the house, so make sure to give a like, and if you really love it, make sure to follow and also punch that notification bell if you're on YouTube. And we hope you enjoy this episode. If you're a Killers fan, you definitely want to check it out. Let's just go ahead and get started.
Let's go to Vegas, baby. Let's go tonight.
Right now,
Let's go to Vegas. We'll stay up all night. Let's go to Vegas.
All right, guys, Jay and I are back here for one final episode together. We're going to talk about the Killers and the show at the Chelsea. So, Jay here is a bigger fan than I am of the Killers. She got me into Killers when we were first dating. Just so you guys know, we would play Guitar Hero when you were young. I used to ace that song, and
I used to ace that song.
And so we kind of learned about it. But I guess my question is, we talk about Chelsea. Chelsea was a great venue. So for me, I'm going to start off from me. Obviously, I've kind of come to love the Killers. Obviously, number one was because they were from Vegas. But number two, their songs like Miss Atomic Bomb. Probably my favorite song by them. Run for Cover. I'm the Man. Their music videos, even Brandon Flowers' old stuff like Fabulous Las Vegas. Those songs are epic. And for me, I really have come to appreciate as a band the Killers. So for me, I was heading into this episode not knowing what to expect. I watched the show, kind of just watching the drummer as I always do. This comes back from me and my buddies, all that were drummers and bass players, just watching those drummers and bass players, seeing how they play. But I come away feeling like they are better live than they are in studio. Brandon knows how to really hold a crowd, have a good time. It was a fun show.
I always heard how good they were live.
They are very good live. And I left there with a greater appreciation with the Killers than when I came in. It was kind of like, oh, Killers, hometown, Vegas. I had fun. Crowd was great. Everybody was good. They played a lot from Imploding Mirage, which I will admit, it's a good album. It's a different album. There's some really nice songs on it. It's not my favorite album. My favorite album, I don't know if I have a favorite album, but the only thing I will say about the show, they did not play Run for Cover. They did not play on the set we were at, Miss Atomic Bomb. They did not play I'm the Man. And there's another song. What's the other one?
Shot at the Night.
And they did not play Shot of the Night. 3 Vegas-related songs. Now, the next night, oh yeah, they did everything.
They played a different set list pretty much each night because they did 3 nights.
Which is beautiful. Which is so smart. And that said, yes, I was disappointed they did not play Miss Atomic Bomb. However, I had an absolute wonderful time. I'm so glad we went, and I cannot wait for August. And guys, if you're listening, please play Miss Atomic Bomb for me. Please,
so, and I've been a Killers fan since they came on the scene back, like when I was in college, like, I don't know, 2004 or something, ever since I heard Somebody Told Me on the radio, got the Hot Fuss album, and, so I've liked them since then, but like seeing them live, yeah, like I got even a new appreciation for them, but, the venue was great, not a bad place to watch it. We had standing room gallery, which was, not a bad view, except for when their most popular songs started and then like people started standing up in the seats that were in front of us, then you couldn't see anything. But we could hear the music and, you know, get a good view, you know, most of the time. So, but yeah, I mean, they came out and did My Own Soul's Warning, you know, to start it off, and they had confetti cannons and stuff, and
that was awesome. So
sweet.
let's go over the track list real quick.
So yeah, so they started with My Own Soul's Warning, and honestly, like that and Caution, as well as like the rest of Imploding the Mirage, like that album I would listen to, you know, just playing on my Echo Dot in my dining room, you know, while I'm doing virtual school during the COVID shutdown. Like listening to the Killers' Imploding Mirage was like kind of my COVID shutdown soundtrack quite a bit. So it brings back memories of that, you know, because yeah, I'm a teacher and I had to do, you know, Zoom school basically, which, well, at least the Killers and their music and some other music out there helped me get through that. But so yeah, I mean, it was a good one to start off with, and then they did Dying Breed, and then they did Bling, which
I actually got
yeah.
new appreciation for that song.
Yeah.
I really did. That was a nice song.
Yeah, Human was good, and throughout the show, of course, they had, you know, cool like backdrops going on. Then they had Blowback, and then Running Towards a Place, and then of course, you know, one of their best known ones, Mr. Brightside.
Which, by the way, okay, if you're a Killers fan listening to this, for KA personally, it's a good song, but it's not one of my even top 10. And everybody's like, how is that not in your top 10? It's such a good song. I don't know. I don't connect with
I mean,
this.
I love the song, but honestly, my favorite on the Hot Fuss album, Smile Like You Mean It, which they did eventually play. But yeah, after Mr. Brightside, they did Somebody Told Me.
That's a good one.
Fire and Bone, which
that was really nice live.
I actually liked it so much better live than I did, you know, on the album. Like,
yeah, it was.
I thought it was like okay, you know, on the album, but live it was good. I was like,
really good. The bass line
was
really nice.
Yeah. Then they played Cody. That was a good one. In the Car Outside. And then of course came my moment of pure joy when they played Smile Like You Mean It.
Yeah.
Then they did the Getting By, which is one of their new ones off Pressure Machine. And they have lots of versions of that. They did Be Still,
which they like hardly ever do.
Yeah. Then Runaways,
which again I got a new appreciation for you.
Yeah, like you love Runaways. Now I've known about that song for like a decade practically, I think, but yeah, that's definitely a good one. Then Read My Mind, which is, you know, always excellent. I heard somewhere that's one of Brandon Flowers' favorite songs that he wrote.
Yeah.
And then All These Things I've Done, another great one off Hot Fuss.
Yeah.
And then they had then they came out for the encore, and I was waiting for this one, Spaceman, which always gets the crowd going.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like Mr. Brightside. I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah. Now I enjoyed Spaceman. And then one that no one was expecting from Hot Fuss, Midnight Show.
Which I actually enjoyed that song.
Yeah, that was cool
song.
to hear that. I mean, I love that whole album, so I was happy. I wanted to hear Jenny Was a Friend of Mine from that, but I was glad to hear Midnight Show, actually. That's probably a more upbeat one anyway, like in terms of that. And then, yeah, and then When You Were Young, which is, of course, one of our... oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's a great
Sam's
song.
Town, what a great album. And then they ended with Caution.
Which I think is a weird ending.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird one to end with. I could have seen them ending with, you know, Midnight Show, actually, or, you know, just, you know, probably, you know, things like Spaceman or, you
like
know,
something like that.
Mr. Brightside or something, you know, one of their, but
like Even When You Were Young.
I'm not complaining though, because I love the song Caution. Like I said, that one was like you know, that just, the feeling I get when I hear that song, it makes me think of spring of 2020.
Right.
Like for real, all the time, just hanging out, you know, kayaking out in the fresh air because I didn't have anything else to do, you know, I'm just playing.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, like when they finished that song and said goodnight, man, everybody was chanting for an encore. And
kind of thought they were going to do a second encore, and they did the second night. Second night, they did a second encore.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I credit the band for doing a second encore. I credit them that this was a good show overall. And I don't know about you, but I just can't wait for August.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, please, at the very least, play Run for Cover, because that is like my, besides Smile Like You Mean It, I'd say Run for Cover is my other favorite.
Yes.
You know, and that one, could really get the crowd going.
So yeah, so that folks is our review of the Killer Show. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Talkin Vegas All Day with KA.